previously I've discussed up to chapter 3, right? Chapter 4. So for even weeks, you don't have to worry. I will still have the time for you to ask me about an assignment. Okay, if you want me to check on like chapter 1, chapter 2, chapter 3, I will still look on that. Okay, but will be in week starting from week 9. Okay. So I just want to discuss about chapter 4 and chapter 5. Okay. Especially for those from E1 groups. So chapter 4, data analysis, results or and discussion. Data analysis or results and discussions. So these two are the titles for this chapter. You pick only one. Okay, either one. Don't put the two titles there in your chapter 4. Okay. Then you have 4.1. 4.1 is supposed to be, as usual, introduction. Right? You introduce what you will include in that chapter. Right? So it's just a few sentences, a few lines. This chapter presents what? Okay? Presents background respondents, relativity analysis, and then until the last subtopic and to stop. That's it. Okay? Then you have 4.2. First, you introduce the background of the respondents. Okay? If you look at the article, okay, so this is our article. So the last tutorial, we have done the mind mapping for reviewing the factors influencing choice. Right? For the second tutorial, we have done the mind mapping for reviewing the factors influencing choice and survey method. Right? So starting from here, interpreting demographic data, this is already the results. Okay, this is already the result section. The result section. Okay. So this is your 4.2, right? Background respondents. So in your questionnaire, you only have one question on demographic, right? Demographic, background. It means when you present the background of respondents, you only present what? How many male, how many female, right? That's all. Okay? So when you present the result, you only present in table. Right? You don't need to draw you don't need to provide pie charts, bar charts, etc. I don't want the charts. Okay? I only want table. Alright? Tables, the tables. Okay? Interpreting demographic data. And then 4.3. Okay, 4.3 is, I want you to read, I don't have the ebook here. I want you to read the ebook, SPSI Survival Manual, Chapter 9, on reliability analysis. So 4.3 is reliability analysis. Okay? Then you have your 4.4, 4.5, 4.6, 4.7. Those are the results. Alright, the results. So what results do you have? First, you have this result. Okay, just now we were at demographic data. Okay, so you don't only clarify the top 10 factors, and in fact you need to discuss all factors. Okay, but you can categorize them as significant factors and less significant factors. Okay, so the same goes to information sources. Here you the author compared two courses. You don't have, right? You don't have to, because you only have one course. Differences between universities also you don't need to. You can ignore this. Okay, you don't need to bother about this because you only have one university. some significant findings. Okay, so if you want to understand the rest of the article, okay, the rest of the sections of the article, you can start to do your mind mapping starting from some significant findings. Okay. Right, table 2, this is important because you have males, females, respondents here, right? So you need to compare for QS, your course, male, the mean, right? Female, again the mean. Okay, then you have one group total mean. Okay, so if you want to compute this table using SPSS, you can refer to our notes, right? Our lecture notes. There are some instructions to get this result, right? And there are some screenshots also. Then you have gender differences. Okay, you should do this test also, man weekly U test, man weekly test, right? To compare the means between male and female respondents. Okay, also you get this what we call the guidance from SPSS survival manual. Okay. Then we have the second result, right? Factor analysis. Okay, so this is factor analysis. So go and read chapter 15, factor analysis, in the SPSS survival manual ebook. So I will explain more about factor analysis in your tutorials, right? Especially for even groups. For odd groups, they have done this. Right? By right, you are already ready for the presentation for all groups. Okay? Then you have this, your results. Okay. Factor scores you can ignore. Factor score you can ignore. And then this is the result. Factor analysis result from information sources. Okay? So if you want to do then on the discussion and conclusion, so we go back to chapter 4, subtopics. So first you need to present the results, right? For chapter 4, you need to present the results. Present is easy. It is something explicit, something you can see directly from the results, right? Which one is ranked higher, which one is ranked lower, which factors are more important, which factors are less important. Okay, or less significant. Then you have to interpret the results. Interpret means you relate your results with the research aim and research objectives. Okay. Next is discussion. Discussion is difficult because discussion you need to relate your discussion. First thing, relate your discussion to the results. Okay, and then you have to relate your discussions to the literature review, right? So literature review, but then you have to have one section on you compare your results and the results from previous studies. Okay, that means you link your discussion to the previous studies, right? So you have all these in 4.4, 4.5, 4.6, 4.7. Okay, and then you have I think maybe 4.8. You have a comparative study. That means you compare your results and Scotland's result because you are replicating the Scotland's research, right? So you have to compare what you get and what the Scotland got. Okay. So, in your discussion, because this is a journal paper, right? So, when you write journal paper, you can combine discussion and conclusion together. Okay? But when you are preparing your research report, you have to separate them into two different chapters. Okay? So, discussion and conclusion, you will notice that the discussion, there are also headings, the criticality of quality of information. Okay, the need for a model of choice, marketing strategies that need to be adopted to better inform student choice. Okay, so actually the discussions are about suggesting or providing solutions to the research problems. Right? That's why research problems are very important. You must be very clear of what are the problems that you want to solve or address. Okay? And then here you provide the solutions to the problems. Okay? This is the level for final year project. Alright? So we are not asking about originality, contribution to the body of knowledge, okay? Or something more advanced. No. We want you to identify the problems, and through your research, you find the solutions. Okay? Come up with the solutions to solve the problems that you want to solve. That's all. Okay? And then here you have in summary. So this is the conclusion. Right, in the last paragraph, the references. Okay, so if you want to do the mind mapping to understand the rest of the sections of the article, so you can start from just now, some significant findings. Right, something here, page 714, some significant findings, and then you have factor analysis. Right, information, discussion and conclusion. Okay, until discussion and conclusion. Right? And lastly, you have maybe 4.9 page conclusion. Summarize all the main points in chapter 4. Okay? But you need the data, then you can do. Right? Now without the data, you cannot do this chapter. Okay? That means you do not know your results yet. Okay? That's why you need the data. Okay? Then chapter 5, conclusions and recommendations. The last chapter, 5.1 introduction. Then you introduce what you will include in this chapter. When you write, straight away, right? Straight to the point. Right, straight to the point. So when tell me, when I read, I want to see the explanation already. Okay, don't define the things. You all when you write, you like to define. Okay, you like to start with like nowadays. Okay, you don't need all these words. Okay, you just explain. Highlight the points. Okay, elaborate the keyword of your keywords of your subtopics. Okay, straight to the point. The length is not important here for the assignment. Okay, the quantity is not important for the assignment. The quality is important. Right? But for test and exam, the quantity is important. Right? The quality is not important. Correct? Because you want to write 25 marks, so you speak, right? So you write a lot. Eventually when you read, you don't know what you wrote. Okay? So that's why next time you come back again, when you see me. No, huh? Okay. Conclusion, chapter 1. Conclusions and recommendations. 5.1 introduction. Okay, this chapter presents what? Okay, this chapter presents achievements of research objectives, research contributions, study limitations, and recommendations for future research. Finish introduction. Okay? Then 5.2, achievements of research objectives, right? So you write one paragraph summarizing what you have achieved for each of the research objectives. Okay, for each research objective. So you have research objective 1, right? Research objective 2, research objective 3, and research objective 4, right? In different paragraphs. Okay, follow the points, the bullets. Okay. Basically, it's summaries of the main findings for each objective, research objective. Then there are research contributions. Okay, contributions to the body of knowledge. The first contribution. Okay, so in research contributions, you have to talk about two things. First, contribution to the body of knowledge. Okay, that means previously we do not know about this, but after you done research, we found that we know something. We know this. We know about this. Okay, so that means contribution to the theory. Okay, to the body of knowledge. You extend the boundary of the knowledge. And then the second contribution, right, is about practical contribution. Okay, practical contribution means how does your research outcome benefit others? Right? That means how do people use your research outcome to solve the research problems? Okay, contribution to the education industry in this case. Okay, contribution to the students, to the university. Okay. If you are doing a research for the construction industry, then it is about contribution to the construction industry, right? But now the research is on education, right? So contribution to the education industry, right? Here we are talking about practical contributions. Okay. Then there are study limitations. Okay. So weaknesses in your research which you cannot address. Okay, which you cannot address. If the weaknesses, these weaknesses you can address or you can solve when you're doing the research, then it is not a weakness. Okay. So if you look at your seniors FYP, you found that they wrote their limitations. Examples of limitations are like lack of time, lack of funding. So don't write all these because you have been given enough time. Okay, you have to determine the scope of your study. Okay, you don't need much funding because you only spend on stationery and probably if you are using online survey, then it is cheap. You don't need much. You don't need funding to buy equipment, okay, to buy machines, to do lab testing. Okay, you don't need all those, right? So you should emphasize on the weaknesses of the research methods that you have adopted. Okay, for example, the sampling technique, right? The sample size. Okay, only stress on the limitations of the research methods adopted. Okay, recommendations for future research. So you have done the research, right? So you are now the expert. You know inside out about undergraduate jobs. Okay, so you can suggest how the research can be improved. Right? You can suggest ways to overcome the weaknesses that you have stated in 5.4, study limitations. Right? If you have missed out something really important that you think may be an important question that you should have included in the questionnaire, then you can put that under study limitations. Okay, and then you recommend others to replicate the research or to do further research. Okay, further studies on this topic, right? So suggest to juniors or to others to improve the research. And then 5.6 conclusion, to summarize the main points in this chapter. Right? So we finish the FYP. Okay? Improve. So for your presentation, right? So for all groups you present on week 11, right? For even groups, you present on week 14, right? So what do you need to present? You only have 10 minutes for presentation. Alright, you need to prepare PowerPoint slides. Okay? If you want to prepare video also, I can accept. Okay? Maybe you have more powerful you're using more powerful presentation tools. Okay? You are using you want to do animation, you can go ahead. Okay? But the basic is PowerPoint slides. Right? So what do you need to present? You need to present the problem statements. Okay, your research problems. Research aim, research objectives, research scopes, research justifications. Okay? You can skip chapter 2, literature review. Okay, if you want to talk about you think there are some important things in your literature review, then you can spend 1 or 2 slides on literature review. You want to present now already, is it? No. Then your research methods. Okay, research methods. That means methods that you use for the research. Okay, don't present everything in research methodology. Present only research method. If you want to know what you should present, you can refer back to the article. Okay, go to survey method. Okay, this section, survey method. But not everything from here. Okay, only the main points because we only have 10 minutes. Right? Then your main findings, chapter 4. Your main findings, discussions. I want to see your discussions. Okay, but the main points. Main findings. Main findings means the main results and the main discussions. Okay, for example, this factor is ranked higher than this factor, or this information source is ranked higher than that information source. So, why? Right? I want to see how you argue. Okay? Argue the points, not argue with each other. Okay? And then conclusion, you present achievements of research objectives, research contributions, and study limitations. Okay, in 10 minutes. Entire format. Okay, entire format. 10 minutes presentation, 5 minutes for Q&A. Alright? So one group, 15 minutes. Alright, so I will stop you 10 minutes. So you have to research, you have to rehearse, practice first. Right? If you cannot finish within 10 minutes, that's it. Okay, I will stop you. And then I will start asking questions already. Q&A, 5 minutes. Okay, so one group, 15 minutes. Everyone should present. Every member should present. Okay? So you divide among yourselves. Okay? So for the details on the results, especially on factor analysis, I will explain to the given groups during the tutorials. Okay. Especially this mean ranking is easy. I don't need to explain because you know already. This is something new to you. Okay, this is something new to you. So I will discuss about factor analysis results with those from given groups during your tutorials. Okay. So next week is a holiday for all of us. Right? I cannot promise when I can give you back the test paper.